Oh no! Look away! Look away! Look away! I totally knew what scene I was clicking on. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, stream. Well, I was gonna turn Spotify back on. I mean, I think we all know this song, but... Hi! Welcome in! Hydrate and stretch. I guess I can. I'm very sore from I mowed the lawn this morning,
just redeemed
and unfortunately did not get to finish because the battery died. But it's fine. Oh yeah, let me move. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Stream's fine right now. Okay, let me look up the... Down, simmer down. No down, anything else. So you're telling me if I do a square, in theory, I can post it on Twitter and Instagram. Okay. But yeah, hi. I hope everyone's doing okay. Sorry about the scuff yesterday. Do a bonk. You bonk and no scuff today. I'm here. I'm here. Oh shit. Stream streak. Thank you for the stream streak. 4 days. Let's go. Or no, 10. I don't know why I can't read numbers. Wow. Why does the streak... Oh, it bonks me mostly so it I see it on my computer. So like it lets me know, because I'm trying to get to a point where it has a little TTS or something that will tell me to hydrate. That way, if I'm not looking at my computer, it notifies me. But I have oh, I gotta turn my keyboard on. I have trouble with that if I'm like not actively looking. No, don't look at my secrets. I need to fix my model. I might be doing that tonight. We're having a short stream today. I was gonna stream, so normally I would work at 4 p.m. Eastern, so I'd have a couple hours, like 3 or 4 hours to stream. But work got bumped up to 2 p.m. So for context, it's 12 p.m. for me now. So we're gonna go for about an hour. And I'm just gonna work on some I was gonna work on a little schedule template. Because I actually opened commissions for schedule templates a couple weeks ago, and I realized that I'm silly, and despite the fact that I opened commissions for it, I haven't made myself a schedule. So yeah, so we're gonna work on that. I am working in the background for stuff for my birthday. Yes, we have a month, but you're 1 hour ahead of me. It's pretty average, I would say. But my birthday's not for about a month. But I am unsure about my work schedule between now and then. I have not heard back yet from the job I applied to. But I did send them an email on Sunday. So I might give them a call today or tomorrow just to ask about if I'm starting next week or not. Mostly just to get the ball rolling on if there's paperwork. But yeah, so I'm doing some prep for my birthday. I am planning on doing a donathon for my birthday. To switch jobs. I would like to switch jobs, but I was going to try to do like a 2-week period where I work. So I applied part-time. Uh so right now I'm only working 4 to 8 in the evening. And so I applied to work 9 to 3. So I was going to see how long I could keep that schedule. Um and kind of like since I've gone a while without working consistently, that way I could work on paying off my credit card and paying down like bills and stuff, and maybe putting stuff in savings. Um, but my evening job is very it's very inconsistent because it's based on the family. So I do therapy services in home, which is not a problem. But the family that I work with has a tendency to cancel at the door or cancel regularly. Um, so I'm gonna see how we do for a couple weeks. I probably won't be streaming much, um, if at all. I'm gonna try to stream, but I don't know how my energy is gonna be working 10-hour days. Um, but yeah, so uh, trying to get hours in so that I can save up some money. But if my current job continues being inconsistent, then I'm going to swap to the other job because they already told me that they would be happy to have me full time. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I would love to just be full time at the other job because they're open from 9 a.m. to 6:30 in the evening. So I'd be getting off a little earlier, which means I would probably be okay to stream in the evenings like I am right now. Well, not right now, but like starting next week. But we'll see. I'm basically just trying to. So unless it's too personal, does that mean you're? Yeah. I do ABA therapy. ABA stands for applied behavior analysis. And so I basically the easiest way I can describe my job is it's very simple, similar to like a teaching aid. But I can work in pretty much most environments, as long as I have like family's consent. I can work in home, at school. There's clinics that I've worked in before with kiddos who go full time. Um, and we basically help kids. It's not exclusively just kids on the autism spectrum, but we help kiddos who have developmental disorders, and we use basically an observation method of seeing what skills they're already good at what skills they could use like help with. And then we create a system based on, the things they already like, whether it be like snacks or activities, and we use those to help motivate the kiddos to learn to do things that they don't want to do. Like a lot of kids will get mad, like they don't want to learn. They want to be independent, but they don't want to learn to like go to the bathroom by themselves, kind of thing. I've done a lot of potty training. I've potty trained, I want to say at least 3 or 4 kids at this point. Um, and a lot of it's just giving them that consistency of like, hey, every hour we're gonna go to the bathroom. And if you sit on the potty for, like 2-3 minutes, then we'll go, I don't know, do a crossword or uh jumping jacks, have outside time, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I work with kiddos. It's not too personal. I don't mind talking about my job. I just can't go into specifics because it is still in the medical field. So like I can't be too specific because of HIPAA compliancy. But I don't mind generally talking about my job. I've worked with kids for a very long time. Um, Prior to the job that I currently do, which I've been in this field for, I think we're going on 2 years now. Um, but yeah. Uh, but I've been prior to this job, I was working in daycare. HIPAA? Oh, HIPAA is, I don't know if it's specifically the US. I know it's in the US. But it's basically a like law compliance about not just medical information, but sensitive information of any kind. So like for example, I can't tell you specifics about like who I work with, where I work with. Um like I can't tell you names, I can't tell you like where they work or occupations or like what kind of car they drive. Um and it's just to protect the patient so that they don't get like it's very similar to like doxing on the internet. It's to keep them safe, especially when it comes to children. But like um both children, it applies to both kids and adults whenever they get medical like medical assistance. Um like for example, my therapist that I see her every other week. She can't talk about what I talk to her in therapy about in order to protect my confidentiality. But yeah, if you want to look it up, it's HIPPA. I don't remember what the letters spell exactly. But both my parents were in the medical field, so like I'm pretty familiar with it, even though I can't tell you like where I can't tell you the legal definition. I can give you an overview. But yeah, it basically just protects anybody that goes to see a practitioner of any kind, like any kind of doctor, therapist, whatever. Um and it protects their information and holds people accountable if they do break the rules of like giving out somebody's name or you know stuff like that. Because like I know an example that's a lot more common now is like with families that are divorced, for example, like if a parent is like a biological parent, they have their name on file, but if they're not approved to get information, like they're not approved to know like what we're working on, then regardless of how they're related to the kid, if they're not legally obligated to that information, the parents usually have to sign like a release of information. Ba, 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 ba. My lips are moving. I think I'm numb. Imagine having biological parents. Well, adoptive. What is it? Guardian. Any guardian. The person that has the legal rights. Because they could be adopted, they could be like inherited, like if something happened to the biological parents, etc. But yeah. But yeah, I think HIPAA is specifically like I want to say it's a specifically American thing. And I ain't stupid. Mm. I actually never like looked into it. I think oh, that's what it yeah, okay, yeah, it is. Okay, it's the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. It's a United States federal law. Okay. Other countries probably have something similar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Coming back. Also, hi, Conrad. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But yeah, no, I despite the fact that my streams are labeled 18 plus, which is mostly just because of my mouth and I never know what I'm gonna say. Um I have worked with kids for years at this point. I was a summer camp counselor my first summer out of school. Um, I worked at a daycare. Um, and I've been doing I've been doing my current job for 2 years. I am working on a schedule because I am silly and uh opened commissions to make people custom schedules and didn't make myself one because I'm a silly guy, I guess. You have a therapist too? I had one when I was younger. And your parents asked like what we do. Is this worth going on a 30-minute drive? Oh. Yeah, I didn't start seeing a therapist regularly until I was in college. It's just really hard when you're a kid. Um because even though I knew that like legally I was protected, um I still had that fear that they were going to tell my parents anything that I said. So I waited until I was an adult. No beginning. But yeah. Oh man. Therapy is goaded. Yeah. Yeah, therapy is super useful. Super useful. There's lots of really good different kinds of therapy. I know I've seen I've not only seen a cognitive therapy, which is kind of the therapy that most people think of, like where you talk to a therapist about stuff. But I've also been to physical therapy, which is also a really good form of therapy. Um, a lot of times people will think that, it's only like older people that go to physical therapy, but I went to physical therapy I think it was actually like during COVID. Wasn't for me. My dad had a $200 FaceTime call. Oh, like that was the that was the upfront cost. What doesn't make sense? I keep pressing the wrong button. On your knees, begging, please stay with me. Honestly, I just need to be a little crazy. I've been good, but now, oh, what the hell? They just assumed it wasn't working for me, and then later on, my dad got one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, hypocrisy. I was gonna say there's a lot of people that are hypocritical. Like, both my parents were diagnosed with depression and anxiety and medicated for it, yet they never took me or any of my siblings to get like testing done on whether or not we had it. So, there's a lot of it's also because like a lot of stipulation around um therapy. There's a lot of people in especially like older generations who will be like, "Well, I don't need therapy. I'm not broken." And it's like you don't have to be broken to go to therapy. You could just be going to therapy because you want to, or you could go to therapy because you, I don't know, went through a breakup or whatever. There's all sorts of different types of therapy. Whoa. That I'm messing with your head, boy. I'm like in your bed, yeah. Messing and stuff. But yeah. Well, and like I said, that was one of the reasons why, like, I was sits down to Ellers. You are maladapted. Yeah, literally. Yeah, because and that was one of the big reasons that I waited until I was in college to start going to therapy, was because one, I just didn't feel like dealing with my parents, and like having them police, or like having that anxiety of like, oh no, they're my legal guardian, so they're gonna tell them everything I say in therapy. Um, but also having like having that space, because when I went to college, I moved an hour and a half away from where my parents were. Well, where my parents still live. And so like having that distance seemed to help me a lot too. Because it was in my like first year or two of college that I got diagnosed with the anxiety, depression. I ended up getting diagnosed with the anemia, which led to me getting diagnosed with the hypothyroid. So like a lot of all my health stuff would happened like right after I moved out. And so I think it was just like a lot of that, like needing that space to have confidence to do that kind of thing. Because like even now, me and Zealot talk about the fact that, even though therapy obviously helps us, it gets expensive going to therapy every week. So it's a balance. Because a lot of the stuff that I talk about in therapy is mostly related to like my social anxiety and coping with my ADHD. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so like it most people could find things to talk about in therapy, but like it's just up to you and your level of functionality whether or not you think it'll actually help. Like I never thought that talking to somebody about my disorganized issues would help, but now that I have diagnosed and medicated ADHD, it helps me to talk about like, oh yeah, I have trouble, staying on task. Cause it's not that I have the ADD. I don't get distracted in that sense, but like I will hop between tasks a lot. Like I was telling Zealot this earlier. Last week, Ryder's water tower upstairs was not working. Like it wasn't putting out water. So I unplugged it to see what was wrong. And then but I did that in between vacuuming and cleaning out the vacuum. And so I accidentally left his water tower unplugged for at least a couple hours, maybe through the night. I don't really remember. Um, and it was one of those things that like once I saw that it was off, I was like, oh shit, I unplugged it and I forgot that I unplugged it. But in the moment, it was just literally like, oh, I noticed this is wrong. I need to fix it. And then I didn't finish fixing it. So, but it's like one of those things that, if I had been diagnosed earlier, I might have been able to confront those sort of things earlier. But, I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, finding a good therapist also can take a while. Absolutely. Yeah. There are a lot of every therapist is a different person. They all have different education, different backgrounds. Some of them, a lot of times, they'll have specialties as well. Like, I know that the therapist that Zealot sees said that she used to work with the prison system, I think it was. She used to work with convicts. Because he got worried about, like, he talking about his PTSD and very, very, like, what people would consider grim topics. And he was worried about talking about things that were maybe too violent or too graphic, stuff like that. And she was like, oh, yeah, no, you're fine. Meanwhile, like, I talk to my therapist mostly about, like, hey, this person is being mean to me, and I told them, hey, you're making me uncomfortable, and they're ignoring me. And so, like, literally my therapist being like, okay, so what do you do now? And I'm just like, not be friends anymore, I guess. Like, you got some Dispresso pills. But the only reason I got it is a lot of my shit happened at one point to my main family, which made us distance from our other family members, and it affected the whole family. Yeah. Well, and things can be a catalyst for it as well, because like Zealot, for example, I don't think Zealot developed PTSD until maybe like college. Um, and I know that he had I don't know if they ever medically like said that he had a stroke, but he had a really bad car accident that rattled his head, and so I think he unironically like had his brain kind of rewired, because his behaviors changed, but they kept saying that he didn't have a stroke. So it was like, okay, well, you don't just change your entire like pattern of behavior, because like okay, the Zealot we know is that he likes to play strategy games, he likes to play board games, he's not very artsy, but he loves to write stuff like that. What after his accident, from what he's described it to me, he became very artsy. He started doing like wood burning, he started doing crafty stuff. He was like he was very social, um and he had a lot of issues with that. Was around the time that he also developed that was a couple years before he developed his hypersexuality, which was actually caused by like his dad's passing. And so like his brain was like, oh god, I'm the only heir to like the family, and like literally chemically induced the hypersexuality, and it just has not gone away since then. And it's been like a decade. So like the brains are very complicated. There's a lot that can alter like your reality essentially. There's a lot of things that are trauma that people do not call trauma, that can and will affect your daily life a lot. Ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for. I did it early. Sweat soaking through the flow. Bam, 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 bam. But yeah, it's psychology is something that like I don't know. Hypersexuality. Yeah, no, you're fine. So hypersexuality is when you have an increased sex drive or an increased libido. Um, and it's usually caused by some form of trauma. Um, and I don't know the specifics of like what causes it. But I know that it's basically an increased libido. Because the way that Zealot has talked to me about it is essentially it's for him it's been very similar to like when he was young and like in like middle school, high school, like going through peak puberty, and he has, despite the fact that he is in his 30s, he has to either masturbate um or like consume like not safe for work content more often because of like that impulse, and it's not an impulse that he can just ignore, unfortunately. So um yeah, it's very similar. A lot of people experience it also whenever they go through like hormone changes, like people who are trans and take either like progesterone or testosterone. um they'll often experience hypersexuality because of it's chemically induced. um but yeah, it's quite literally just an increased sex drive. um and it really is just like it's like an impulse, like it's just like a core impulse that you can't control, of like your body's just like, okay, we're horny now, and it's like, why? And it's like, yes. Like it's also very uncomfortable in the sense of like there are times where it's completely inappropriate to, feel aroused, and body is just like, yeah, well, we're here. Power word horny for the D&D nerds. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, and because everybody that I've met that's hypersexual, I feel so bad for them because like they don't have any control over like their, like they can control their actions obviously, but like they don't have any control over the fact that like they feel horny. And especially for men, do you know anything about trans? What do you mean? Like I have not transitioned myself, but I have friends of mine that are trans. So I could tell you like what I know through them. This is the greatest show. Like you'd have to give me a specific question. My one of my best friends, well, I call him my best friend because I've known him since like second grade. But he's trans, so always been curious about, but I don't want to ask because I feel like it's rude. I mean, that's fair. If you're worried about asking it, you could always try looking it up, because I know that there are a lot of people who will like there are a lot of people who will answer those type of questions. Like I can tell you about my experiences with my trans friends and the stuff that they've told me about. Um, but that's about the extent. This is the greatest show. Oh. I was gonna try and make a pattern, but I don't know if I have a good picture for a pattern. This is the greatest show. Like male trans, how their chest changes? Oh, well, it's always, so there's always going to be differences between people. Um, but if they're taking testosterone, my friend that like male trans, yeah. So do you mean like biologically male, um, going through transition to be femme, or? Begging to stay, begging to stay, yeah. Happy widow, why give me butter of wise? Yeah, because if you're talking about you're talking about male to female. Okay. Yeah. I don't know as much on that one. I have met a handful of trans ladies and I'm friends with a couple as well. From what they described to me, it's basically uh early on when they're taking hormone, it's obvious, it's usually hormone blockers, because they're blocking the testosterone in order to essentially prepare the body to add estrogen. Um because that's the main difference between the two, is that um somebody transitioning from female to male can usually start out on testosterone and it's not a problem, uh versus if they're going from male to female, they usually tend to have to take hormone blockers before they can take estrogen. But from what I know, when it comes to like their chest, basically since they're getting they're having that block on testosterone and they're having that add of estrogen, a lot of the fat that is already on their body will start to kind of rearrange itself. It's a very slow process. Like it usually happens over the course of like weeks, months, sometimes years. But a lot of times, usually like, sorry, I have congestion in my throat. A lot of times the way that I've seen it is a lot, instead of them having belly fat, if they have a lot of belly fat, it will usually transfer kind of to the hips and up to the chest. And so like if you have a lot of like upper arm fat, that usually will add to like the armpit chest area as well. Because whenever you first start hormones is when your body starts to rearrange basically what you already have before adding fat. But there are a lot of trans women who will talk about the fact that they end up having to like carb load and stuff in order to gain fat in order to look more feminine. But yeah, so usually the fat will kind of rearrange, and that usually depends on like how big they are. Like if you're really skinny, you might not have as much, but that's just because there's not a lot of fat to rearrange. And I think it's pretty common for trans women to also gain weight while they're on estrogen, just in general, because something that a lot of people don't acknowledge is that the main difference between male bodies and female bodies is the fat amount. Like male bodies are very low fat count. It's mostly just muscle. Um, but when you look at the female body, it's a lot of fat because our bodies are made in the it literally everything about our bodies is made to make us look either attractive to men or it's made to help us carry a baby. Like that's just the baseline for it. Um so yeah. But like yeah, I when it comes to like the chest, I would say like the difference that I mostly know is that, bigger men obviously will have like what we call the man boob, because I don't know that there's like an actual term for it. Um but like essentially the difference is that man boobs generally are not sensitive at all. There's not a lot of nerve endings there. I know that when people take estrogen, it will typically stimulate especially like the nipple area, because obviously they're not literally going to develop breasts in the sense of like the actual glands, but it does stimulate like the area. So a lot of times like nipples will be more sensitive. Um and that's also just very regular for puberty in general. Is when you're female and you start having to wear bras, your nipples will just be irritated in general. But it's just because you're having that transition of like not binding them versus binding them. Um, which was actually something I had to tell my friend Aurora about because she was getting really mad. She's like, I used to get away with not wearing a bra at work. And I was explaining that, that's something that every girl goes through. Like, there's always a fine line of like, okay, I can get away with this amount of titty because nobody can see it. But then you cross the line of like, either the boobs are too perky or the boobs are too jiggly. And you have to wear a bra or like a tank top or something. So it's different for everyone, but yeah. The part that I know about it is mostly along the lines of the fat rearranging itself, which I find very interesting just in general. Like whenever I lived with my best friend that's trans mask, he's a guy. Um it was very funny to me because he had like really big boobs, and watching them over the course of the year that he was taking testosterone that I lived with him, his boobs literally just deflated. And so it was just really weird to see kind of the opposite happen. But he was also very thankful because basically what was happening was the fat that was in his boobs was basically rearranging itself to other areas of the body. And so he was actually really grateful for it because he had a lot of back problems from he had like, I want to say like he had like a like fucking like E or F cup or something crazy like that. So he was always having back problems. And he was like, "Dude, I'm free." Yeah. He still complains about the fact that you can't, if you get top surgery, they won't give you the boobs. Cuz he has always talked about the fact that he wanted to when he gets top surgery, he wants to keep them in a jar. And I was just like, you might have to go out of the US if you want your boobs in a jar. That But you do you, man. Yeah, he's a goblin. I love him a lot. He's he's also a large part of the reason that I figured out that like I am I don't call myself they don't let you keep, yeah, turnabout is fair play. Yeah, they don't let you keep the balls if you get bottom surgery. Exactly. At least they're equal about it, like they're not letting some people for my random, no, you're fine. I mean, especially if it's something that you've not been around, it's okay to not know the answers to those questions. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that are trans, and like I find it interesting to see how their bodies change because there was a very long period that I questioned whether or not I was trans. Um, I think I'm the easiest way to explain my gender, it would probably be non-binary. Um, but like feminine presenting non-binary. Because I don't care if people call me a girl or call me a woman. Um, I'm just not very feminine, and but like when it comes to my body, there's not any, I don't have any of that same discomfort of like not being able to look at my body. I can look at my body, I just don't really like what I see, but that's more along the lines of just like insecurity type thing. Like and like I'm just like, "Ooh, damn girl, you need to like lay off the cookout or something." You don't have any friends in general? Yeah. I mean, I get it. A lot of this stuff is information I've learned over the course of time with different friends I've had. So, it's a process. So tomboy. Yeah, tomboy's a good way to say it, pretty much. I have been mistaken as a lesbian. I've been mistaken as a trans man. Uh yeah. um I mostly just dress comfortable. Sometimes I dress feminine. Uh Sometimes I dress like a homeless person. It really just depends on how I'm feeling that day. So what do you mean? About getting mistaken as a trans man or a lesbian? Because I feel like the lesbian's pretty obvious. I mean, okay, I guess with the VTuber model, it's a little less obvious. I do have my VTuber is very feminine. T-man. Most of it's because I have an undercut, and so I tend to wear my hair up in a ponytail, which makes me basically look like those guys that will do like the top knot. And I do not have, hi Beefoy. I do not have a lot of boobage. So unless I'm wearing something tight, you usually can't see my boobs. So especially if I'm wearing like baggy clothes. But yeah. Terminate. But yeah. I've also just what's an undercut? And smaller best. So an undercut is whenever you shave your head, but you only shave part of it. I was gonna say I have an art program open. Let me just draw it because I can't. I'm gesturing with my hands and realizing that you can't see what I'm gesturing to. I'm a very visual person, if you haven't figured that out yet. So, like, a good way of explaining an undercut, that is huge. Okay. So, like, the best way to describe my hair, I mean, some undercuts are different. Mine I've moved up over the course of time. But so for me, the way I usually wear my hair is I have long hair on top. So it's just a little ponytail. That's how the top of my hair looks. And then down here is all shaved. There's a lot of different versions of it though. The reason it's called an undercut is because it's underneath the hair. But yeah, so that's how my hair is. But I've seen plenty of people who will do like the side shave kind of thing. Like where their hair is like all on one side, basically. This would also be considered an undercut. Which my hair can look like that. I just don't wear my hair down a lot. Top of your head looks like a slime. But yeah, that's my hair. Ironically, this is my hair, but when it's down, pretty much. But yeah, this is all shaved. I shave my head. Usually on the sides of the back of the neck. Yeah. Yeah, so the reason that I initially got it is because my hair is really thick. I know a lot of people get really surprised that my hair is as thick as it is because I'm white, but I have really thick hair. So originally, I started out, here, we'll draw like the back of my head. I'm not great at anatomy here, so like originally, I only cut like, I need another color. I wanna be free, I wanna be in movies. So like originally when I got my undercut, it was just like here. Like just that bit of my neck. But over time I moved behind my ears. And now we're all the way up here. It's actually more like around there because it actually goes like around the hair. I've gotten more and more bald over time. It's fine. But yeah, I originally did it because my hair is super thick and I hated having to detangle it and deal with it and wash it and oh my god. So I just chopped it off. Yeah, I'm just slowly going for a buzzed head. Look, I don't know if I would look good bald because I have a big forehead. Like I've always that's like the one reason that I've never committed to getting like a pixie cut is like the shortest I've ever cut my long hair is like usually the shortest I go there is like I'll have them cut it up to here. So like the long hair will go down. I usually do like bob cuts, so usually it'll be like angled like that from the side. And then like my little ear here. But yeah, usually that's what the hair looks like. Well, and the funny part is that despite the fact that I keep going up, like my hair is literally so thick that when I wear it down, people can't tell. Like they literally cannot tell. And it's so funny to me. Because my at this point with how high my undercut is, you can actually see it like how I drew it up here with the ponytail. Like when I wear my hair down, you could see the sideburns right here around my ear. You can see that that's all you can see that it's shaved. So, but yeah. Explanation of duck hair. And this is also why my VTuber, she does technically have an undercut like I do. I just make her wear her hair down. You can do Sakura cosplay? Wait, Sakura from Naruto? Or a different Sakura? Oh, Sakura. Yeah, I probably could. The only difference is that I mean I could maybe figure it out for my VTuber, but you might not know this because you're newer, Nasis. I am a fat liar and my hair is no longer pink. I have officially grown out all of the hair that I had bleached to be pink. Mostly because I'm lazy and I didn't want to have to keep bleaching my head to turn it pink. We are all bald underneath. True. But yeah, so I do not have pink hair anymore. But I could maybe do a Sakura cosplay for the duck. That's actually one of the things that I'm planning on working on for the Donathon for my birthday is I want to make a new outfit to reveal for you guys. I was gonna make it anyway for like personal use because I want to be cute and have different outfits. Um, but I thought it would be a fun incentive of like, if we make it to this goal, you guys can see the outfit early. To pick up the phone, on the go and drunken alone too. Want to get him out again. But yeah, I've it's a the best I can give you right now because I haven't started the outfit yet is it's a fall. It's gonna be like fall or Halloween themed. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided. Decisions are hard. Decisions are hard. Backwards. I'm on my mind. I'm on my time. You said you have a big forehead, so Sakura cosplay. I mean, look, I have big forehead. I'm not lying. It's one of the reasons why I had bangs for so long. I go in and out of having bangs because I let them grow out usually. No, he's only going because he's drunk and alone too. Have to kick him out again. 3. You know, you're look at his head in the morning. You never know about him. Now I know Sakana.
Conrad just redeemed hydrate/stretch.
Bonk. Not the hydrate and stretch. It's crazy. Oh, goodness. Okay, it's almost 1. Okay. But yeah. Why is the redeem a bonk animation? Because I'll forget if I don't. You gotta bully me. I've been trying to figure out how to get it to work on my computer so that it'll give me like a little TTS or something to tell me to hydrate, but I haven't been able to get it to work. My life is scuff. It is what it is. Ooh. Okay, I thought it was a little smaller than that one.
You're fine. Time. Come and get it. How many did I do? 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only did 5. Okay. Come and get it. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for stopping in. Good luck with errands. I'm about to hop off here in a little bit anyway. Because I gotta get food. A black magic. You say, one secret potion, I'll make you fall in love. If I know, back to me. It's called black magic. Up all night. Oh. Incoming ads. Recipe. Go back magic. Falling in love magic. Magic. Wait a minute. Never get. Know how bad it must hurt to see me like this, but it gets worse. Baby, I guess I'm the baddest. You gotta get this. And it'd be nice of me to make it easy on ya, but no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. So good. Like I knew that I would. I'm not sorry. I'm tired of you knowing advice. I'm asking where to be. Where it feels and it does it appeal. And now I know, oh God, you want bigger, better things. But right now this is. Grass is greener under me. Brightest technicolor. it must hurt to see me like this, but it gets worse. Nah. Can't have this. And it'd be nice of me to take it easy on ya, but no. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. So good. Like I knew that I would. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. 'Cause the tables have turned. And I know that it burns. Can't talk, baby. Better walk, better walk, baby. Mm. If you talk, better talk, baby. Better walk, baby. Baby, I'm sorry. Feeling so bad, got me feeling so good. Nothing I would. Not sorry. Not sorry. 'Cause the tables have turned. Better know that it burns. Mm-hmm. Did I get pics? Huh? What pics? Which pictures? What pictures? Oh, I got some of them. I need to finish doing it. Ryder interrupted me while I was doing it. Yeah, I got some of them. But not all of them just yet. But yeah, I might have some time probably tomorrow to do that. Oh, wrong button. I did upload pictures for the necklaces though, because I already had those. I just gotta take pictures of the earrings. 'Cause baby, so am I. Mm-hmm. I feel like a misfit. Everything inside you is dark and twisted. It's okay to be different, 'cause baby, so am I. In the format. It's okay to be different, 'cause baby, so am I. So am I. Know if I said this before, but you should play Better Among Us Goose Goose Duck. Oh yeah, I haven't played it in a long time, but yeah, Goose Goose Duck is fun. Oh, I just have to get a group together to do it. Into the format. Okay to be different, so baby, go along. Since I'm a duck, yeah. I have played it before. I don't know if I've played it on stream before, though. I think that might have been before I streamed that I played it. Everything inside you is dark and twisted. It's okay to be different. Am I, an outcast? Fit into the format. It's okay to be different. Baby, so am I. That you'll never feel like you're I've been streaming I want to say since like 2022 or 2023. And when I started streaming, I mostly just did art streams, and I had a PNG tuber. And at that point I didn't know how to animate, so my PNG tuber was static. But I am still streaming on the same computer. I've never upgraded my laptop when I started streaming. Though my setup's a lot more complicated now because I have a second laptop and I use the Steam Deck to play games. Please don't you ever feel something perfect. To me. Don't you ever feel like you're perfect? That's not perfect to me. I have my sights set on you, and I'm ready to rain. But yeah, I'd ironically have to go and look back at when I started streaming, because I can't remember if I streamed, I think I technically streamed before I moved out here, with Zealot. But I've been living with Zealot for, 3 years. So about the same time, because I've been streaming either 3 or 4 years. I think I tried to start streaming before I moved out here, but I was living with roommates, and one of them was fine, but yeah. I think I did start streaming a little bit before I moved out here, but I've definitely been streaming more consistently since I moved in with Zealot. Because obviously Zealot also streams, and so I didn't have to have that concern of like people saying my IRL name or whatever, bursting into the room, etc. So I can say with confidence I've been consistently streaming for 3 years. But I technically started streaming a little bit before I moved out. I'm feeling it down. Just a started, babe. Ask me what I'm thinking about. My best friend Leslie said, or she just being Miley. My heart can rest till then. Ooh, oh, oh, why? To you again. Oh, that's not what I meant to do anyway. Like a bell, just time. Like a bad luck, and I'm gonna feel you to overdrive you. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. I can be sad to you. You need a bad girl to blow your mind. Bang, bang, into your heart. I know you want it. You don't Alright. Where does it go? Oh. Aww. I'll show you how to graduate. No. Talk, tell you what your mama gave ya. Nobody can make that to you. Need a good girl to blow your mind. Bang, bang. Oh. Oh. Dizzy and Ari. Me and sorry. He's slinging. Singing. Hey, I can be good to you. You need a bag to blow your mind. All over you. Wait a minute, I take you back to your bang 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 ba bang 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 ba bang. Wait a minute, I take you back to your All right, we gotta find someone to wade. I gotta go to work. I don't know. I know I will be done at work at 6. Depending on if I need a shower or a nap, I will do those things. I might be late. I might be live again later. But I figured at least I'll give you guys a little stream, because I did say I was going to be live, even though my work schedule got moved. Alright, I'm gonna put you guys on the ending soon screen and see if there's somebody I want to wade.